That said, immediately after, like once it starts getting a little heavy, he will slot an intimidation soft, but the first one I'd imagine is not. This is the chance for me to glitch. Nope. Okay, so he's not very intimidating.
Yeah, the woman behind the counter is like early 30s, and she seems like the kind of person who, like, she's assuming you're with some sort of organized crime, and she just doesn't want any of it. She wants it out of her shop. It's not even like, she wants it gone. She doesn't want anything that's occurring. So she's like, no, no, I'm sorry. You should leave. Please leave.
Tell us about the guys in the funny suits and we leave.
It's real simple. You tell us what we want to know and we go. You don't tell us what we want to know, and it gets a lot rougher for you. It'd be a real shame because we're kind of in with some people who are not too nice, and we tell them that you're not going to be cooperative, and it doesn't end up well for you.
Are you saying this in machine Chinese?
No, I'm saying it in English.
Yep, okay. Roll.
Can I get an assist from?
Yeah.
Zachary?
Are we getting any bonus dice on these?
I prefer to just lower the threshold, but
Okay.
like I have taken into account that you're both like kind of tough looking and you outnumber her.
Sadly, I cannot edge them.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Sacrum got higher. Oh well, that is the vagaries of the teamwork system. Yeah, she says to you, she says something in rapid fire Chinese that she assumes you can't speak, but your machine, your software translates it as, what did I do to deserve this? Why won't these basically mobsters leave me? It's basically translates as triads, but it means all organized crime. Leave me alone. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Stop arguing, she says to the people behind her, and then she says to you in English, um, look, I'm very sorry, but we know nothing, and we not take part, and we do not want anything, and please leave.
In machine Chinese, Shadow will respond. It's too late because we're here, which means that organized crime is involved. It is important that you help us for your own sake.
When you say organized crime, do you use the word she used, which is triads, which means is slang for organized crime, or do you like use the more
I'd imagine,
longer proper
I'd
word
imagine
for
that
organized crime?
I'd imagine the linguisoft would use like the actual proper word rather than slang.
Yep. You get the choice. So yeah, she looks at you shocked that you speak Chinese, and then she kind of like picks up something the diction that it's a little bit artificial, and she realizes that you're using an implanted a software translator. And she says in Chinese, "Why you come here and cause trouble for us? What do you want? What do you want to know?"
What we're looking to know is someone who dresses like a lot of your clientele causes a lot of problems, and we want to know where they live, or who they are, or
Someone who
anything.
dressed like what? What do you mean? We're a laundromat. Everyone wear different thing.
I'm sure you have noticed that there is a trend of, and obviously this would all be like the weird, stilted, drawn-out Google Translate version of 1920s gangsters.
Like what? You
Like
have the feeling that your linguisoft is not good enough to translate 1920s gangsters into something recognizable.
like old Italian mobsters.
We have no problem with the mafia.
You do because we're here.
She looks from you to him and she goes, you're with the name of Italian family that like runs this area." Like clearly not believing.
Who we work for is unimportant, but who we work for is dangerous. You just need to give us the information and we will leave. We will even pretend that we were never here.
I do not know what you're. Don't even know what you want to know, and I'm not telling you anything. I do not want
He
my family
starts.
to become in trouble. I do not want any trouble. Please leave.
So Shadow starts gesticulating, like fedoras and like trench coats with big collars and stuff like that, trying to pantomime what he is trying to describe. Clothes like this.
For fuck's sake. Does anyone want to display an AR picture of what you're looking for? Because you have AR pictures of what you're looking for.
I don't even understand this conversation because it's all occurring in machine Chinese and actual Chinese, right?
Yes.
So I'm just standing there.
You're right. I will
Fuck
use a
if you're
point of common sense. I will use a point of common sense to pull up an AR and throw it at her.
Okay. Because gesticulating fedora is really just that's not gonna cut it. I'm sorry. Okay, you throw the picture of her and she goes. She looks at it, and then she turns and just death glares one of the younger family members who's working in the back, who is female and 18. Who kind of not doesn't rear back, but definitely knows they've been death glared. And then she turns back and she says, "What is this about? Why do you want this man?"
That is not important to you. What is important to us is that you tell us about this man.
I know. Okay, this is basically yeah, this would require a second check with a higher threshold because this is something she actually doesn't want to give away, rather than
Okay.
not knowing what the fuck you're after, basically.
I also imagine that I'm doing this one solo because
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Sakharine can help you with the conversation in Chinese.
Yeah, no, I can't do anything in Chinese because I don't speak Chinese at all. Now, if you're doing a Japanese or Sioux, I'm good.
So what do you so what do you say that you're doing it for?
okay. So he says, we need to know who these people are. It's obvious you know who these people are. This can stay a conversation for now, but
Her,
any longer and it might not be.
her face hardens and she says, "You don't make threats. I don't come to this country for you to make threats. You will leave. You leave. You not come back. Or we tell the mafia, and they kill you. We pay protection money."
Okay. Shadow's going to look at Sacrum and DNI. They want to do it the hard way. Are you okay with that?
Try paying them off first. If you
Good point.
won't pay them, I will.
It's fine. It's a good point. It's a good point, friend. In wire Chinese, you will say, "How would some money sweeten the deal?" While he's saying that, he is uploading a negotiation soft.
She says, "I don't. I did you not hear me the first time? I don't want trouble." You get the feeling that you have to offer a specific amount to get her attention. "Oh, I might give you some money," probably isn't gonna cut it.
2,000 million.
She looks shocked for a second, and you can clearly see her weighing it in her mind. Roll me negotiation.
Look at that.
Nice. Okay. If you hit her with a slightly higher number, like 2,500 right now, she might cave.
Absolutely.
So you say 2,000, she's like, and then you go 2,500, and she says, she looks over at the family member that she glared at before, the girl, and the girl obviously sees something in her, in the front counter woman's expression, and she jumps up, throws down the garment she was working on the workbench, and rushes at the back door. And the woman at the counter yells something after her, and turns around and says, "To you, the money first, and then I talk, and then I tell you."
Ask her where the girl just went. I GNI that immediately.
Okay. Where's the girl going? Then we do the money.
She is young, and she waves her hand in the air and says, she will recover, or she will she'll get over it.
She sells us out. This will be painful later on. And then he slots a cred stick, puts the money on it, and hands it over.
She says, "Come, come, we'll discuss this privately." And she takes you. She tries to take you upstairs.
Yeah, I guess Shadow would look to Sacrum to make sure that he's okay with it before they go.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're upstairs at a dinky little table in the living room of a Chinese family home, and you're being served little bowls of yellow tea. And she says, "You want to know about that man? Ah, yes, I tell you. He come in with clothes to be laundered, and they were very old and could not be laundered. And we told him so, and he said he did not know how to buy more, and he paid us some money to help him, and so my daughter took him shopping, and that was the start of the problem." And she shakes her finger in the air.
we can make sure this isn't a problem for you anymore.
And she says, you know, I told her no good would come of it. No good man dressed like that, and you know, be come around at times. He come around, you know. She's like going on the whole, yeah,
Scornful parent thing.
yeah, kinda. She's obviously not the girl's parent. She's like an aunt or something, but like, you know, it's the same sort of thing. But there's also kind of like a weird little undercurrent of jealousy. Like she's jealous of the girl for having someone that, you know, she basically, it sounds like, has fallen in love with. And this guy's kept coming back, and taking her out to nightclubs that are like above her station in life, and like, you know, all this other like kind of standard petty, small-minded complaints. And this goes on for a while. Do you listen to all this, or do you cut her off at some point?
He would cut her off at some point and say, I understand parenting can be difficult. Obviously, he does not understand that parenting can be difficult, but do you mind if we continue this conversation in English?
She says, actually, I'm going to say she's been talking English this whole time. Because
Okay.
I'm going to say she's smart enough to have realized that your friend does not speak Chinese, and you speak only very bad Chinese.
Okay. Well, it's pretty good, but it's not great.
Her English is not great, but it's not terrible. It's better than your machine Chinese, but not by a huge amount. So this is a lot of this that she's saying is like just repeating the same word over and over again, and like lots of just bad communication. Anyway, if you talk to her for a while, she'll eventually say, and then so I want to know who this man was, and so I went to see. She mentions a name. It sounds Italian, and she says, but he say that he not work for them, and then I go, and then she mentions another name, and it sounds Chinese, but he say he not work for them, and so I go, and she says a third name, but you know, it doesn't sound Chinese, or it doesn't sound like any sort of like organized crime ethnicity. And she says kind of like African, and then she says, you know, but he say he not know where he worked for either. So I go to, so one night I follow him, and he went up. He went. She mentions like street names, and you're obviously probably remembering these, or even plotting them on some kind of map. And she says, and then I saw him go into a shop on the corner of blah and blah. The shop had a sign over it, and it said, Talismonger.
Talismonger. Okay, that's a start. You got this man's name?
He say his name is, he say his name is Bertie, but I think that not his real name.
That's understandable. Yeah, Shadow would look to Sacrum and ask if, you know, anything else they should be asking. Anything else they should be asking over DNI, obviously.
How often does he come in here?
He come and see the name of the younger girl, who I'm going to say is Wee Chow. So he comes to see Wee Chow every couple of days. But lately, he has not come for 4 days. Wicha has been all crying about it, and I tell her that man no good, but she not listen.
How many days?
4 days. I remember that roughly corresponds. It's a little bit more than the amount of time since Komo's daughter has been taken.
Ever seen with anyone else dressed like him?
He always came here on his own. I see one time or two others dressed the same way on the street. I think new fashion. Amongst people with more money than sense. Ha 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 ha!
Yeah, that's it.
Shadow nods his head when she says this. Okay, I think that's good enough for us.
He says, "You say 2,500," and she holds out her hand.
Okay, yeah. Then he give her the cred stick.
She takes it and she puts it inside her clothes, and you guess that that's her money now. And she's not going to share it with her family.
So, listen, part of what that 2,500 buys us is that you don't tell anyone that we were here. That protects you and it protects us.
She knows and say, "I'm not born yesterday."
Excellent. I just saying it out loud makes it like a public contract of sorts. You know, I won't feel too bad about coming
This is
back.
my first rodeo.
Oh, you know rodeo, but whatever.
She did
Thank
say
you for your time,
this
man.
is my first rodeo, so she didn't get the negative right.
Anyway,
Make sure
you have a
stupid
good
girl
night.
doesn't say anything either.
Yeah, her obedience on this matter is paramount.
Yeah, do you say that your obedience on this matter is paramount, like out loud?
He says that out loud to her, the girl. What's her name?
Is the woman you're talking to the old?
Yes.
Not old,
Yes.
like she's 30 plus.
But
We're talking about the girl that
yes,
fled off.
the young.
She said, yes, no worry. I make sure she do what she told. You doubt that she can actually enforce that on the girl. She has not successfully stopped the girl from seeing the guy. Oh, I don't know. Maybe she can. You know, who knows? But you know, there's a strong possibility that that is not going to be enforced on the girl.
Like I said, it gets bad if we have to come back or one of our friends have to come back. Some of our friends are pretty nasty people. So I thank you for your time. Once again, I'd like to emphasize discretion, but we will be going now. Thank you.
She takes you downstairs. The tea, by the way, actually was real good. Like, really nice yellow.
Shadow had none of the tea.
Oh, you uncultured swine! All right. Well, yeah, you can definitely just mosey on out. There's no issues with that.
Okay. Yeah, Shadow and D and I, we have an address and a location for a talismonger, so I guess the saga continues, as it were, but we have a place to go.
A talismonger, huh?
Yeah, I don't really do the finger waggling thing, but you know, we're getting paid to find this kid, so I guess we got to go.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'm sure you've got some other skills.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh man.
Like not everybody can like do the whole magic thing. It's understandable.
Yeah, they depart.
Okay. So at this point, Poncho and Dr. Feelgood have definitely arrived in the area. What were you guys doing once you got there? Were you going to try to find this kid called Anna at the listed location? Were you going to go to one of these nightclubs? Because you do have a little bit of time, because there was a decent amount of conversation that happened, for you to go and try to start doing one of these things before you get that DNI from Shadow.
I think we're going to go for the 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, well, most people do.
R/no context.
Yep.
You don't even need context, I think.
Well, okay, so the location you were given corresponds to an alleyway that is slightly out of sight of the main road. Like there's a distance down it. Like an alleyway and a distance down it. It's kind of like a dreary-ish area as well. So it's like this tall
Actually-
building side to side.
Sorry, quick question, because I don't know if we actually ever got it. Did the J ever give us a picture of his daughter, so we know her when we see her, or if we see her?
His daughter, we pin that footage that he showed you, although it was obviously blurry. He has not showed you a picture. No,
Okay.
he's with you two. Do you want to ask him for a picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it'd probably be helpful.
He takes out his wallet. Yes, he carries a wallet. He's old school. And,
Holy shit!
He takes out like an actual honest to fucking goodness physical picture. Like the kind of thing that you carry if you're a professional who might get his shit might get hacked and doesn't want pictures of his family like on his comlink. And like unfolds it and it's like kind of like palm sized, a little bit smaller, and it's like a smiling Japanese girl. Around 8 years old.
Okay.
8 years old, you said?
Yep, 8 years oldish. You know, I
Okay.
mean, could be 7, could be 9.
Okay, well, Dr. Feelgood will take the picture and he'll, like, hold it and get his own personal picture of it so that he doesn't have to have just the physical copy. He can just give it back to the father.
Kuro or Como, whatever he wants to be called, doesn't object because while he may not have wanted digital pictures of his daughter to be connected with him before now, she's been kidnapped. So that you know, that horse has fled the barn. There is no, you know,
That ship has
sail.
sailed.
And is in fact halfway across the Pacific.
Poor little girl. Dr. Feelgood will be like, okay, thanks. Okay. I guess me and my friend here, we're gonna go and really see what this contact can help us, or if they can help
Yeah.
us.
You can come with, you can stay in the car, it's up to you.
Yeah, I think there's like a cafe down the road if you want to go to it. It might be nice. Hey, it's up to you, you know?
Sorry, what? Are you asking Como if he wants to come with you?
Yeah.
No, he says, I will stay with you. Yes, I will. I must.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, of course. Like, hey, you're your own person, you can do what you want.
Like, if you showed him, like, you know, a million charging soldiers and said, you know, kill them all and your daughter will be free, he'd just, like, hurl himself head first. This guy's not going to stop.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's cool. So, I guess Dr. Feelgood will get the vehicle and meet up with Poncho and get going.
Okay, you can go down to, like, where the goal is fairly close to where you were. You get there, you get out of the car, you start walking down the alley. Like, the tall walls of the apartment buildings on the side tower above. There's, like, rain coming down into the alley. The smell of refuse, and you see, like, a rat scuttle from one pile to another. As you kind of get further down the alley, you see, like, what looks like kind of like a little shanty structure built up against one side. Like the kind of place a homeless person would live. The roof is like a sheet of plastic, and you know, there's a scrap of fabric hanging in the doorway. Trash pile
Aw.
up on the other side of it.
Okay.
Pretty much exactly where the coordinates are saying you should be, the GPS.
Alright,
Well, just approach.
Yep.
Yeah, no one does anything. Like, no one, like, you know, says anything. You go up to the door, the scrap of thing that serves as a doorway. Do you stick your head in, or do you knock on it, or knock on the frame rather? You don't knock on the fabric.
Dr. Feelgood will knock on the frame, be like, hello.
There's no reply, but you, over the sound of the rain, you faintly hear the sound of like something scraping and something else inside. Like someone inside is trying to be stealthy.
Okay, well, I mean, hello? Like, I can sort of hear you. Or, I don't know.
You do hear a very specific noise when you say that you say you can sort of hear you. I don't know, and then you hear like it's this very specific noise. It's the sound
Oh, okay.
of a hand pump shotgun being primed, loading a shell into the chamber.
Okay, right. Well, it's been nice talking to you. And Dr. Figgle, like, right, well, fuck this.
If you step back from the thing, like, and wait there for a couple, like, a little while, then just immediately leave. After like a girl's head will stick out of the gap between the thing, and with it, like a shotgun, muzzle will protrude as well, and she'll be like, look around and see you, and be like, aim the gun at you, and be like, what do you want? Why are you here?
Poncho will quickly step between the shotgun and Dr. Feelgood with his hands up in the air.
Whoa,
Jeez.
that's some loud, staticky noise.
Yeah. Dr. Figgle will poke his head around, like, between Poncho's arms and be like, hi. Do you mind not pointing a gun at me or around here, or actually just anyone in general? It's not nice. Like, hey. You okay?
She's like, who are you? What do you want? Why are you here? Why are you in my home?
Okay, I'll start with your first question.
So,
Hi.
if you look at her and you see her pupils are too wide, she's on something.
Ah, yes.
Skinny as fuck. Even though she's 14, she's still like really like you can see the bones against the skin. She's that skinny. Her
Cool,
hair is
can I
Okay.
gray.
Can I matrix perception?
You could
Can
put
I-
in her thing as well as nothing.
Can
wait,
I
it's a
regular
comic.
perception to try to figure out what she's on? Like what side effects she's experiencing?
What
and
did
go
you-
off that?
regular perception? Did you say?
Regular perception?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that without medicine you can't tell. And also it's just like you can only see like her head and in the rain. I'm gonna
Oh,
say that, yeah.
No, that's chill.
With Matrix testing, you can see she's not running a sim rig, so she's not. I mean, not running she's not running a BTL. There is an active comm link inside her house, and nothing else in there is wireless. And when I say house, I mean tiny lean-to shack shanty thing.
Okay. Well, Dr. Figgle will be like, okay, well, I'll answer your questions. What was the first question she asked? Like, he will go through all of them and I'll answer them.
Who are you? Why are you here? Why are you at my house? What do you want?
I'm Dr. Feelgood. Came here to see you. What was the third question?
They're all in the sidebar.
Oh, handy. Well, being at the house because the last answer and the last one also, please refer to the second answer. If that's okay. And, like, don't shoot. If that's alright as well.
I don't sell it my friends. I'm not going to tell you anything. You're cops, right? They're not
No?
cops. Go
No, that's
away.
okay. You don't, like...
Can someone please roll some social dice at this girl? Or is Dr. Fiona just really nice and not actually good at talking to people?
No, it's just really nice. Please go back. No, I'm not a cop. Neither's this guy or this guy over here.
She says, why are you here? What do you want?
Because I want to ask you a couple of things. Like, even though I'm not a cop, like, other people can ask other people questions, you know?
She's like losing the track of what's going on, and like the gun's kind of aimed a bit lower. Like she can't focus through whatever drug she's on, basically.
Good.
And she's like, oh, look, man, just go away.
Hey,
Go
look,
anything."
gal. Look, gal. You look tired. or whatever, do you want to head down to the shop and get like something to eat?
She said she perks up when you say that, and she says, "I'm not going anywhere with you." I don't
Oh, okay.
like.
Well, do you want me to get food and bring it to you?
Um, she's like, why would you do that? Look, man, I don't want any trouble. I don't.
Oh no, I don't want to. I don't want to bring you any trouble. I just like you look like you look pretty skinny and that there, like a little bit malnourished, and like I want to get you something to eat because hey, you look like you could use it, you know.
She's kind of like she's used to a life where if someone offers you something like this, like a hook in it, like she's like at that level of living on the street and being a drug addict, like no one does anything without some kind of ulterior motive. Human kindness is almost foreign to her.
Okay.
So she's just
Okay.
like I don't know what she's trying to work out your angle, and it's hindered by the fact that she's on like horrible street drugs.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Well, hey, hey, if you don't want any food, like that's okay as well. Like,
What do you want to know? What do you want to know? She says because
oh,
she's decided that you're offering her food in exchange for knowledge, and that's what she's fixated on.
oh no, like you can tell me that like those things aren't important. Like you look like you need a solid meal, you know? Like I like the question I have, I can wait. You look hungry. Does she have any reaction?
Um, shit. So sorry, hold on. I zoned out just briefly there. Did you what? Could you repeat the first part? What you said
I
again? I missed part of it.
I basically just said, like I don't really care about the questions right now. Just you look hungry.
Oh right. That's what I
Yeah.
thought you said. I was like, I heard a little bit cognitive dissonance about that. I'm getting too into characters as well. All right. She says everyone wants something. There's nothing for free. And she says like, who are you? Why are you? She cannot deal with this, and she pulls the curtain out of the way and like puts the gun on like a shelf, and you can see the inside of the thing is basically like a bedroll on the ground, um, which is wet because the water's coming under the sides of the shack. A shelf which has like a picture on it and a couple of candles, which are obviously the only light source, and that's it. And on the rest of the shelf is occupied by the shotgun, which looks like something that like it looks like a shotgun's 50 fucking years old. It's an antique.
Okay.
Wait. So does that mean that she's wet too?
Yeah, she's her feet are like wrapped in rags to try to keep them dry, and she's obviously like she's not sopping wet, but like she's been lying on a bedroll which is lying on damp floor, so she's not dry either.
Okay. I
Okay.
remove my backup poncho and give it to her. I do always carry a backup poncho. It's come up before in runs.
She like reacts like you're trying to offer her a live snake. So like she like flinches back like a fucking whoa overreaction because she's high. She can't react in small ways, and then she goes whoa and like looks at the poncho like with wide eyes, and then like kind of like reaches out really hesitantly and then takes it and like yanks it out of your hands like in one swift movement, and then like kind of like she, like looks at it like it's clean and she's wearing dirty clothes like just fuck like just horrible sort of broken tattered clothes, and she just starts crying.
Hey, there's no need to cry. Does she still have a gun pointed at us?
No, she put it down
No, she put it down.
Oh,
because
that's nice.
she couldn't keep like she just doesn't have the mental capacity to deal with these concepts you're throwing at her. Like
Okay.
because she's on like horrifically nasty like beta meth or something.
No, don't even talk to me about beta meth. Beta meth is evil.
It's
Disguised
good,
as good.
It's good. Don't say
No,
it's bad.
that shit's bad. You got a speedball psyche and cram. Anyway.
Anyway, so Dr. Phil will be like, hey, just don't cry.
Like because it's just like the simple act of giving her a piece of clothing isn't like it just from a vending machine and made of shit is just like, yeah, it
Oh,
blows my mind.
this is an alpaca fur poncho that green and has
It
black
feels
designs
warm
on it.
in her hand and soft, and that's enough.
Yeah,
So she's just,
yeah, it does.
she's crying.
I assume Dr. Feelgood has like an umbrella and she doesn't have an umbrella and he's going to like
She
hold it over her. Yeah,
she
he,
does have
he
an
like
umbrella,
comes
like
over.
a broken straight umbrella.
Yeah, like he comes over and holds it over to her and he's like, "You okay?"
She's just like she wants to say she just asks because she's still trying to make sense of this. Who are you guys? What? No, who are you? What do you? What do you want? What do you
Oh,
want from me?
well, as I said, I want to ask you a couple of questions, but like I'm not really interested in that right now. Like going, like you seem really sad and yeah.
Okay. At this point, Como comes up and he looks at the girl, the street girl, and he dismisses her out of his mind completely. Like he obviously dismisses her as unimportant, and he says, "What are we doing, wasting our time here?" Um, Actually, no, hold on, sorry. The DNI comes in at this exact moment. Sorry, that happens first. The DNI comes in from Shadow saying, "We've got a lead, Tails Mortgage Shop. You should probably come along."
Okay.
Okay,
At that
well,
point, exactly. So you are in that exact point of the conversation.
okay. Well,
So do you guys?
does the J then come up and be like, "Hey,
Well, no, he doesn't immediately. So, so what do you guys do? Do you immediately leave and head over there, or do you keep talking to Anna?
uh, Dr. Philgood's gonna like try and comfort her and if he can get her something to eat and
Yeah,
help
Pancho
her."
will be searching up her symptoms on the Matrix.
She's high. She's on something, and it's probably a horrific like combination of terrible drugs that like not like terrible as in like they are great and terrifying. Like terrible as in they're just really bad. Um, it's like a lot of street drugs that are mixtures of other drugs and have no positive effects and like have names like like just FX and
Hmm.
like just like kind of like just like weird horrible things that like that aren't the same every time. But she's got a lot of symptoms of someone who is high, like pupils, pale skin. She's clammy, but I mean, that could also be a little bit of frostbite from the or a little bit of hypothermia from the being outside and not with protection in a rainstorm at night. Um, but you probably need to get her to an actual a med kit or a doctor.
Okay.
More thorough accounting.
Pancho's going to summon his motorcycle.
So you also just starts driving down the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are not going to head over to the Tails Workshop immediately. You're clearly not doing that. So the J at that point is going to come in. Como, Kiro, whatever he's calling himself, he's going to come up and he's going to go, I got that message. You got that message from... Wait, you did send that... Did you send that to just these two guys, or did you send it to the one with the J in it as well, Shadow?
I set it to on the network without the J. Shadow is not particularly okay with the idea that the J is going around with them, so he's trying to, you know what I mean? So he is.
Yep. But he still will come up and he'll look at the girl and dismiss her and be like, "What are we doing here? Who is she?"
I didn't
Some
mean
street
to like.
shows nothing.
I didn't mean to screw up your. I
No,
realize now.
that's perfectly fine. He was going to come up and go, "What the fuck's going on?" anyway without that message. I just remembered that message had to occur, and I was timing things in my head, going, "Yeah, it would have happened first."
Dr. Feelgood's going to send him a DNI. And it goes along lines of, this girl clearly needs help, whether she has information that's useful to us or not. And I'd like to first see that she is attended to, and then get what we want. Uh, and like, hey, she's clearly been living on the streets for a while. Like, nobody's been looking after her. It's hard life for a child like that there. Like, she probably doesn't have a father and stuff.
You ever been on the streets? Whatever your name is in Japanese?
You know him as Como. He hasn't introduced. Only Sakura made the check to know that he's actually Kuro.
Como.
But yeah, no, hold
Urban
on.
on the streets, Como.
Okay, so you guys deny that to him. He responds in with spoken words. I do not care. She is not my daughter. My daughter comes first. And then he
Yeah,
looks.
but she's some. But Dr. Feelgood like immediately replies, "Yeah, but she's someone's daughter."
Okay, like he doesn't bother to look at that DNI. He's already stepping forward, and like magic, a gun appears in his hand, like it's a little snub-nosed revolver, like in the picture. And
Is he
it's
pointing
up
it at her?
He steps forward, and it's in his hand and pressed against her forehead. If you want to intervene before he does that, you can roll for surprise.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah,
this is
I
what, reaction, intuition plus combat sense?
Yep.
Because this would be this would be a trigger of things that need to happen.
That's fine to roll surprise and to Jesus fucking Christ. So hold on.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Intuition. I'm down. I rolled the wrong amount of dice. I think I only have 6.
Also, it's not. Sorry, combat sense doesn't apply to surprise sense. That's danger sense.
Okay,
Yep.
then
Combat sense lets you not
Then
be
I have
surprised. Gives
4.
you a perception check.
It does what?
Combat sense lets you get 1 perception check before the surprise.
yeah,
Well,
to
would that
detect the
apply
surprise.
here because this isn't like an ambush? This is someone doing something you didn't expect.
Yeah, it's your call.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I prefer to just roll 1 surprise check rather than a bunch of different checks or whatever.
Sure.
If that's all right. So, how many
Truncate.
successes did you get?
4 total. 4 total. Yeah,
Okay, so
if combat sense does not apply.
Where's surprise? Where is that in the rules?
Is it just static 3 or 2? Anyone know off the top of their head?
What's that?
I don't remember.
Say again?
To not be
Surprise.
surprised.
Surprise test is reaction plus intuition.
But is it a threshold of 2?
I
wanna
believe
say.
it. Let me check.
Or 3?
Reaction plus intuition 3. All right. Okay, Dr. Feelgood is taken by surprise by this, but Poncho sees it coming. By the power of his poncho. So you see that he's stepping up with some sort of kind of aggressive intent, although you're not sure exactly what that intent is.
Okay. Then this is. It seems like it's time to quick draw and hold guns to him.
Okay, so the outcome of this situation is he has a gun to her forehead and you have a gun to the side of his head?
I mean, ideally, I would like to step between him and the girl and also have the guns up. But if there would not be time for that, that is your call.
I'm just going to say that with the speed it happens and the fact that he is so boosted, you do actually have to, the best you can do, you can have a gun to his head almost before he has the gun to her head, though.
Okay.
Yes, Mexican standoff.
Wow, the racism's real.
Oh, come on, that's not racist.
So
It's
racist. All right. Essay. Anyway, okay, so you go like...
That was racist.
Yeah, that was racist. Anyway,
Yeah,
all right.
I'm okay with it, though.
You guys, so there's this kind of little tableau in the alley, and like there is a Japanese man who hasn't slept in like 3 days, who's had his entire world crumble around him, has a gun, has a snub-nosed pistol, against the forehead of a girl who is high, but not so high that she doesn't realize the mortal danger that she's in, whose eyes like are looking at, trying to like crossing themselves, trying to look at this gun that's pressed against her, like her head. This rock steady gun that is pressed against her head because this guy has killed a lot of people. And then like Poncho has drawn one of his revolvers, and that's like kind of held like at the end of a long straight arm against the side of the Japanese man's head, and he says, Japanese man, like Como is like, my daughter, you could be out there somewhere in who knows what condition, and you waste your time with street trash.
Pancho will speak to him in Japanese, because Pancho knows Japanese, and says, if you want your daughter back, stand down. How we go about our job is our business. I promise you, you will get your daughter back, or find the bastards who have her. But you need to stand down at this moment.
Okay, I'd accept leadership or negotiation.
Negotiation it is.
I assume Dr. Feelgood can't do anything because he is surprised.
Womp womp.
Dr. Feelgood could have jumped in at this point where they're talking, but he can't do anything before the guns get placed against people.
Oh, okay.
So if Dr. Feelgood wants to pull the girl out of the way and then step in between the gun and the girl at this point, once guns are being pointed at people, he could definitely do that, or try to do it rather.
I don't think Dr. Feelgood will be able to because he's a fucking he is shit physical stats. But
It
he's
doesn't
going to,
take any sort of strength to move that girl around. She's stick thin and not resisting.
Oh.
She's
Yeah,
you know,
no, Dr. Feelgood's going to protect the girl.
that sounds really terrible out of context.
What, he's going to protect the girl?
Sorry? No,
He's
what I
going to
said. What I
protect the
said.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
what is Dr. Feelgood gonna do?
He's going to get in front of the girl. He doesn't want to get shot. He's a nice guy.
Okay, so the guy's like standing there, his knuckles wide, like his finger on the trigger. He's like, this isn't like, you know, he likes murdering people or something. This is, he's losing his shit. But nonetheless, he's still dangerous, and it's still a bad situation. So Ponchu kind of gets through to him, and then Dr. Feelgood like comes up, grabs the girl, pulls her out of the way, steps in front of the gun, like, you know, like if you're gonna shoot anyone, shoot me, sort of thing. And the guy like stands there for a moment longer, and then raises his hand, like, you know, the gun kind of dangling from it, and he says, and closes his eyes, and tilts his head up and lets the rain kind of wash down his face. Like he's, you know, obviously not going to shoot anyone at this point.
I still keep the revolver leveled at him.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Not like. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I DNI to Poncho, get this hothead out of here.
Okay.
Oh,
I got it. All right. So. All right.
He lets himself be led away.
Okay,
Doesn't
feel good.
resist. He's
Yeah.
like, he staggers a bit though, like the fight's gone out of him. By the way, you needed 3, but I counted Dr. Feelgood stepping in front of the girl and being willing to take a bullet as a success.
Okay.
Like, you would have failed, and that would
That's so dumb.
yeah, so it turns out this guy is not super emotionally stable at the moment. Who knew? Yeah, so I like
Professional.
yeah,
Well, all right, feel good. How do you want this?
yeah, well, I want to know what you guys are doing about the situation, the general course of action.
Everybody is flying in and out from it.
Everybody's blowing up.
Yeah, everybody's roboting.
Okay, do we want to try a call again?
Well, it's you sound fine, Jeff.
Okay,
Although,
I'll try
I mean,
the call.
How do I sound?
better?
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Who started this call?
Wasn't what's his name? Sacrum.
Oh God. Who started this call? Because it wasn't me.
Nor I.
I guess.
Might have been Burst.
Yeah, I don't think Sacrum can connect to Burst's internet.
Oh, must have been Hendy then.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. I was just going to reset the call from my thing, but
Well, we don't have Sacrum.
We don't have Hendy either. I can't hear Hendy.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I keep hitting my mute button. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh wait.
All right. Taryn, can you hear? Taryn, can you hear us? Can you speak?
Interesting.
Right. Okay. Let's just drop this call, and I will try ringing back.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, hello.
I can hear
Okay.
shit again.
Okay. So
Hooray.
yeah, whoever did that call, obviously not working. I think we'll just keep trying with my internet. Hendy, can you hear people?
Oh shit! I keep muting the mic again. Yeah, I can hear everybody.
All right, good. Let's just move on. So Dr. Feelgood and Poncho, you have diffused the situation with your Jay and this street girl. I'd like to know what you're going to do.
Okay. Well, so the Johnson's getting antsy, and we do have a lead. So at this point, Poncho will suggest to Feelgood that we get the girl to Emma Falk and continue with the job.
I do not know who this Emma Falk is. Can you?
Emma Falk is she's a doctor that I know that I personally can trust.
Okay, well, I'll see if the girl would be willing to see her. And then Dr. Feelgood will see if he can convince the girl to.
The girl has no fucking idea what's going on. You guys were like coming up and offering her stuff, and then this guy pulled a gun on her, and she's like talking all through this. Like, you guys came up and offered me stuff, and this guy pulled a gun on me, and then you like pull guns on him, and like, who are you?
Hi, I'm Dr. Feelgood.
No, what? That's not
You
a
said
name.
Oh,
You're a
like,
doctor? Why is a doctor in an alleyway like offering me
Uh,
food and then getting pointed guns at?
okay, you know what? You make a valid point. My real name's Joseph.
Okay, I'll offer you. Do you have common sense?
No,
Okay, all right, no worries.
Of course not.
why would I have common sense?
Funnily enough, you telling her that your name is Joseph kind of seems to give us like a latch onto, like to not like to make some sense out of what's going on. And she's like, look, just leave me alone, all right? Just stop. Just don't shoot me, and just.
I'm not going to shoot you. Why would I shoot you?
Why would you step in front of a gun for me? You don't even know me. What do you want from me?
I would step in front of a gun to help anybody. Like, yeah.
She has like a moment of clarity, like in the drug-induced stupor, and she like when she meets your eyes, like there's like more behind them than has been for most of these interactions, and she says, "Then you're an idiot."
That was a really particular clear moment.
You got that right. Poncho's going to chuckle when he hears it.
Hey,
Okay,
If
like
I
But
were
he's
in-
a sweetheart.
if I were in your position, I would want somebody to do that for me. But hey, if you don't want my help, it's okay.
no one's that nice. I don't know. I don't know what your problem is.
I mean, I think I'm nice.
The
Like,
adrenaline from having a gun pointed at her is like kind of like making the drug, giving her a measure of clarity back. But she starts to shiver again because she's in the rain and like not much clothing. Still holding the poncho in her hands because she hasn't put it on because
Dr. Feelgood's
it's
gonna
too
be
nice for her to wear.
Dr. Phil's gonna like. You should probably put that on. Like, you look cold.
She looks down at it in her hands, like this just expensive, ridiculous poncho, and like she's shivering, and she actually folds it and puts it on one of the shelves in the thing that are above the water level, or the what's on the ground, and then reaches into the thing and pulls out this ragged coat that she kind of puts on, and it's like not like a nice coat, it's like an all-weather sort of thing that someone's thrown away, and it's all ripped and teared, and it's like designed for like an adult, like a big adult, like almost troll size. So on her, it reaches the knee.
Mm-hmm. What is the Jay doing at this point? Is he just like pacing? Do I still have to be watching him, or can I turn around and interact?
Oh, the Jay's you take the Jay back to you take the Jay kind of out of the alley, and like he sits down like with the car door open, like on the edge of the car seat, like he puts his head in his hands and just doesn't move, like he had
Poncho will go and
yeah.
he'll like squat down in front of him and kind of like tap him on the head with the barrel of the revolver.
Takes his head out of his hands and like blinks a few times and like meets your eyes. Clearly judging himself very harshly.
Look, man. Well, I can talk. Look, amigo. I know it's tough, believe me. I've been in this kind of situation before. But going around half-cocked, waving guns at people is not the way to get your daughter back. As soon as we hear back from the other team, we'll let you know, and we'll go follow up on their lead. But you just gotta trust us to be the professionals that we are. Comprende?
He opens his mouth to agree and then closes it again, then says, I have shamed myself. I fear that I am compromised by my emotions.
Oh, you think?
Poncho will nod silently and let him continue talking.
Nonetheless, I cannot bring myself to abandon your search. I firmly promise that I will behave myself better in future.
How about this? Here's a compromise. You follow our orders while we search, and we will let you be the one to pull the trigger when we find your daughter's kidnappers.
He nods stiffly and says, yes, that is fair.
All right. Now, I need you to stay in this car for a moment while I go retrieve my compatriot. And Poncho will head back into the alley. Hey, feel good.
Hey.
The girl's wearing this big coat, huge coat, shivering in the cold. Like shivering both from the shock of what just happened and because it's, cold and she's wet. And on drugs.
Right. Lest we forget that. Poncho's gonna realize that he's not wearing the poncho and look a little bit miffed. Poncho's a warm against the cold.
Dr. Feelgood, you see Poncho, notice that she's not wearing the poncho, and obviously intuit something from that, which is entirely wrong.
Oh well.
Wait, what?
She folded up and put it away because it was too nice for her to wear. She doesn't think that she should wear things that are that nice because she's dirty and, wet, and she'd ruin them.
Hey kid, I got a question for you.
Yeah, she says, like, kind of pulling the jacket closer around herself.
Do you like this life?
She laughs a short, bitter laugh. Do you think?
Look, I'll level with you. I was where you were once. This was back in South America. Well, things were pretty much the same. Weren't that much worse, but...
It's probably a bit more rainy here.
Probably a bit less humid, too.
Yeah.
Either way.
I imagine that would sort of like, oh, no, sorry.
There was a kind old dwarven man. Well, he wasn't that old. he was old for the job he had. And the only reason I got out of that was because he offered me a hand when I was stuck in a hole. Do you want out of this hole?
There's like a brief silence, like that was an in-character silence. As she thinks, like not like thinks about it, but just the horrific ingrained caution of the streets kind of just stops her like a fucking steel wall a million miles high. And then she looks over at her little lean-to, which is basically like where she lives. And she looks back at you, and you gave her a poncho. You drew a gun on someone who was going to shoot her. Seem nice. And, you know, normally I'd ask for some sort of check, but no, she nods, like a bit too violently because she's on drugs and she can't really control her movements, and she nods like violently up and down. She says, yes.
I take it that's a yes?
Yes.
All right. Okay, here's the plan. You're gonna get your stuff. We're gonna take you to my friend, Emma, and she's gonna take care of you for a little bit. All right?
She's like about as hesitant as a human being can be, because while, you know, like, yeah, sure, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. Like, supposedly good deals are how like people in the lower rungs of life get tricked into really bad shit. Like, if pretty much anyone was offering this to her who wasn't you, it would be so she could go and get turned into a Bunraku or something. Harvested for organs. A fate worse than death. Sacrificed to blood gods. Something just horrible. And it's less that she can tell that you aren't like that, and more that there's a reason why that approach works. And there's when you're desperate, you know it might be a trap and you still can't say no.
Some pretty heavy shit, man.
So she comes with you to the car, or to the end of the alley. Okay, so she reaches into a thing and she gets out the old rusted shotgun, which she kind of like tries to hide a bit, like she thinks you might not want her bringing it. A photo which she like treats like a fucking sacred object, folds up and like kind of like tucks it in this inside pocket. A couple of pieces of clothing, like 3 pieces of clothing, and the poncho that you gave her, which is folded up carefully and was placed on an inside shelf. And she like fishes out an old battered comlink, and you know, and that's it. Her possessions are small enough, like meager enough, that she can carry them in her wrapped up bedroll.
Yeah. All right. Feel good. I hope you don't mind that I'm omitting the doctor.
Oh, I don't mind if you think she's good. Like I'm going to do like a matrix search just to make sure. Like
I don't know. He meant like the doctor in your name, who's omitting your title.
Oh.
Yeah, because Poncho's just been calling him Feel Good the entire night.
Oh.
Instead of Doctor Good.
It's more of
It's not
a
accredited, so.
like.
Oh, okay.
You know the way like.
Good
you know
talk.
the way like you get into like this business, like sometimes like you pick like a funny like little name. I thought, hey, Dr. Feel Good. It's got a nice wee ring to it, you know?
Especially when you sing it. Feel Good it is.
Hey.
Alright, Feel Good. Johnson's getting Nancy. We need to meet up with Shadow and Sacrum at this Talismaga shop.
Okay.
Do you want to take him? And I'll take the girl to the clinic, or... Because I don't know how he's going to hold up. He admitted that he's unstable.
Yeah, I'll take him. Yeah. Dr. Feelgood, before the girl and Poncho go, he's gonna get a cred stick. Put 4,000 nuyen on it. And he's going to attempt to give it to the girl. If she doesn't want it, he's going to understand.
Okay. So hold on. You guys are splitting up, and Dr. Feelgood and the Jay are going to the Talismonger shop that Sakram and Shadow have already headed to. And Poncho is taking the girl to somewhere else, Emma Falk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before you go, Dr. Feelgood is filling up a credit stick with 4,000 million, and he's going to give it to the girl.
Give
Is
her a
that
chance
right?
to start a new. Giving her a chance to start a new life.
Okay. You give her the cred stick, and she like kind of takes it because she's already thrown in her lot. Like if there's a trap, she's falling into it. And like she kind of takes it like it's a cred stick, and then she like presses the button that reveals how much is on it, and her eyes like go like her pupils dilated, but her eyes go wide like like what the fuck? Like you just it's like you handed an old person like $1 million.
Yep.
Like this isn't more money than she's ever seen in her life, but this is just the context of this money, that it's hers and that someone has given it to her. Like she can't understand it.
Dr. Feelgood's gonna also send her like a DNI or whatever. It's just his contact number.
She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't have. She doesn't have a DNI. She has a comm link with a interface that you press buttons on, and some of the buttons are missing.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no.
Well then, okay. Well then he'll just be like, if you ever need anything, you can contact me, and he'll give her the thing and be like,
You can give
yeah.
her a comm code. You could like tap it into a thing. You could try to, if you take her comm link, she won't understand why you're doing that and think you're stealing it until you start tapping in a thing for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can give her a number. You could even write down a physical number on a physical piece of paper.
Whoa, physical piece of paper. Whoa, calm down there.
Someone's dropping some money.
I prefer my I prefer my e-notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not like papyrus, like soy paper. Like come on. But
hey, that happens. Yeah, and then Dr. Feelgood's just gonna be like, bye. And he's gonna get the J and go to the Talismonger shop.
Yep. Cool. Okay, so yeah, all right. So Poncho is off doing that. And Jay, right, Como and Dr. Feelgood heading to the Talisman shop. Shadow and Sack can get there first because there was considerable stuff happening in that alley for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so
quick point of order. Where is the Talismonger shop? Is it still in
it's
Everett?
Yes, it was local.
Oh, okay.
It's like a couple of K from the laundromat and like 5K from I don't know 4K from where you were. It's distance, but it's not like a huge distance.
All right. Poncho's gonna hop on his motorcycle, get the girl, and drive all the way down to Renton, where Fox freaking Clinic is.
Yeah,
and then
the girl has to sit in front of you on the motorcycle because she's too high and weak to sit reliably.
Okay, then that's what he'll be doing for the next X hours until he could drop her off, tell Fox, take care of her, and then go back.
And make sure that she's going to be taken care of and not like hit back out on the streets or something. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. You can look at a map and with the directions that we're given from laundromat, like mark a point. It's also she also gave it a reference as the corner of blah blah. So that's definitely something you could give to Dr. Feelgood so he could drive there. In the meantime, you head there in your car. Your car's set, and you arrive fairly quickly because it's 7:30, 8 o'clock. Like you haven't been doing this very long. And it's like a dingy looking trap hole with a big sign saying in like kind of hand spray painted letters Talismonger above it. Like it looks out of place in Everett. Or this isn't a great area of Everett. But it still looks a bit put on. Like a shop that like a fake shop that maintains itself through being a front for the mafia or something. Yeah, well, you got a corner of blah and blah. It's close enough to that. So are you guys talking? I just can't hear you. Or...
No, I'm not saying anything.
Okay, so
I
you guys do
wasn't saying
arrive
anything.
there, and I did describe what it looks like from the outside. So I'd like to know what you're doing.
When he gets there, Shadow will once again get out of the vehicle and send it for a cruise around the block and wait for a second.
Yep, Sacrum will be right there. Probably head right in.
Oh, before they would head in, Shadow would want to just have a word. Fran, I'm not really. I mean, I don't really even know what to do, to be perfectly honest. But I really can't use magic in any way, so I don't even know how to bullshit being in here. Maybe you do, but
Yeah, no, I can definitely bullshit being in here.
okay, sounds good. I'll follow your lead. You need anything, you let me know.
Yeah.
In they go.
Okay. What is Sacrum dressed as, by the way? Like, what's his?
He's wearing Sleeping Tiger.
Right. I mean, is that disguised in any way, or is it like, hi, I am wearing commando armor?
Well,
No, he's
Sleeping
not
Tiger
disguised in any
is
way.
like a suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like an armored suit.
Yep. Okay. So, but is he like? Do you have any? Like, what's your hair like? Are you wearing any charms or trinkets? Is there any astroactive stuff on you?
Yeah, he's got two Kifokai that are pretty much always on. He wears forearm guards. He's got like a top knot. He looks like he always carries this sword on him. He looks like someone who's pretty much ready to go.
So he looks like a modern samurai and an adept.
Yeah.
To anyone who senses his vocali. All right. You walk in. There is a faint, discreet jingle, which is a lot louder on the astral plane if you are astrally perceiving. As you step inside, the shop is a big, dark space. When I say big, dark space, it's not actually that big. It's quite small, but it feels big because of all the stuff that's crowded onto every possible surface. All the shelves is covered in just old, random crap, which is dusty and cobwebby. There's a counter at the far end of the shop, which is like glass and has stuff inside it, and the door behind it. There's no one at the counter or in the shop at the moment, despite the fact the door's open, the door's unlocked, and there was a sign saying "We're open" on it. There's a little bell on the counter.
Sacrum will hit it a few times.
Ding ding ding, ding ding ding. All right. Yeah, I'm coming. Eventually, an orc comes out, and he's like wearing a vest. It's greasy, bare arms, and he's got and he's says, "Hey there, chummer," he says, kind of like awkwardly using the slang, and he says, like, what you looking for?"
He'll immediately put up the arrow of the mobster guys. Seen these guys?
The guy looks at the arrow, and he goes. Then he looks at you and your friend, and he's like, "No," and he's obviously lying.
Don't bullshit me. I've been through this once already tonight. You're not gonna get away with that.
He says, whoa, man. I don't know nothing. I'm just working here temporary till Shavin comes back."
Till who?
Shavin, he's the guy who runs this store.
Yeah, where can we find him?
I know he's away. He's dealing with some stuff.
How long has he been away?
Hey, who are you, man? Why do you want to know this stuff? He's like slowly reaching a hand under the counter as he's saying this.
Don't do that. Don't be stupid.
As he does that, Sacrum immediately goes and puts his hand on his sword. You really don't want to do that with me.
He says, whoa. No need for violence. No violence.
So you want to tell me where this guy went?
Look,
how long he's been going?
Who the fuck are you, man? Why do you want to know this shit?
Who we are is not important, friend.
You want to piss off Chevy? You know he's up with the name of Italian mafia family.
Well, friend, I appreciate the information, but you're kind of pissing us off, so you should probably worry about the immediate problem before, instead of the abstracted one.
All right, roll me intimidate.
So when he says that that he's got connections with the mafia, I immediately pull down my collar and show off the yak tattoos on his chest, on Sakram's chest.
Oh, okay. That would be +3 to any intimidate roll. That's showing off your yak tattoos because he kind of knows what they are, so he goes wide a bit.
I'm gonna pre-edge this just because I can.
Take one. Take one.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I could use. Wow, that was not great for 16 dice.
And this is not your day to be intimidating, is it? Yeah, he's still though, like that's still 3 successes. That's a goodly number of successes. He's like, look, man, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what you want to know. You want to wait till the guy who actually runs the store comes back? I'm just here as a temp. Look,
So you tell me.
He's not even paying me in real money. He's paying me in reagents.
So where the shit did he go?
Look, I don't know. He didn't tell me. He's got some stuff. He said it came up.
Can you get into contact with him?
Yeah, man. Yeah, just don't like slice me up with that sword or anything.
Cool, call him. Ask him where he is.
He says, yeah. He pulls a comb out of his pocket and he like goes, boop, 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 boop. Like because he has a retro interface. And then he holds it to his ear again, retro interface. And
Don't mention us.
He says, yeah, it's cool. And then like, ring. All right, hold on. Okay. So he rings up. Thank you, Poncho. You're doing my job for me. Okay, so he rings up someone and he goes, "Hey, yeah, man. You're busy. I just need a second, man. Like, like the something's come up with the shop, and I was wondering, could you come down and just like sort something out for me? Because this is like really, it's just a problem. Like, well, I mean, like, some guys came in and they said they had an arrangement with you that, like, to sell them something, and I'm not sure if, or just, just some guys, and yeah,
As he struggles, I decide to help him out. I'm looking for a very powerful Kifo guy, is what you're going to tell him.
He says, hold on, man, 1 second. He says, what?
Powerful Kifo guy is what you're going to tell him I'm looking for, but you don't know where to find it.
Yeah. Oh. He looks down. He had the phone like on mute while he was talking to you, obviously, and then he put it back off mute. And he started talking to the guy again, but then he realized that the guy hung up on him. So he goes, "Oh, he hung up on me."
Fucking idiot.
He goes, boop, 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 boop. Ring. Man, he's not answering his phone. I don't know what's going on, man. Look, I did my best to help you. I'm sorry.
Fuck. I'm gonna DNI Poncho immediately and go, can you track phone records?
Poncho, this DNI comes at the exact moment that you're trying to bypass the checkpoint.
1 second.
And the officer
actually, no, you don't get
The
1 second. You get an angry caw from the Condor agent that responds to your message.
Caw!
Yeah.
Let's deny. You just get a caw!
I guess Poncho's busy?
Yeah, because the officer's stopped next to the car, like next to your bike, Poncho, and he's looking at this girl and then at you, and like he's about to, he's really gonna, like, this is the exact moment when the DNA going, hey, can you help us out? And you're like, fuck, I'm busy.
Yeah, as soon as he gets past the checkpoint, he'll look at the message and chuckle to himself as he remembers what he programmed his agent to do, and then respond, yeah, I can trace a.
Oh, if I pass
trace
that checkpoint with 0 issues, spend a point of edge.
Okay.
Part of what you just to see you roll a bunch of checks and one of them was edged during that period of time.
Sure. Ain't no thing. Well, actually, it will shortly become a thing. But
I mean, I figure, why not? Also, yeah. So yeah, after that you can definitely respond. But for this specific moment, is there anything else? Because this guy's saying, "Oh, man, come on, like it's not my fault," blah blah blah, and Poncho makes bird noises at you.
Yeah. Basically, I'm like rubbing my nose. I'm like, oh fucking Christ. Okay, you didn't answer me before. How long have you been temp here? Like, how long has this guy been gone?
I don't know, man. Like 5 days ago, he came to me and he said, like, I need someone to look over my shop, and then like I fucking, he said he'd pay me reagents. I mean, I'm just trying to like learn how to use magic, man. It's really difficult. Like,
Cool story, bro.
Do you have access to the stock, and is there anything not accounted for?
what do you mean? Like, what do you mean not accounted for?
Does he keep a record of what he keeps in stock here?
Yeah, this is an inventory. What, you want me to check like everything against the inventory?
I want you to check if anything's missing.
Oh, man, that could take like all night.
Yeah, it could.
I can't. I gotta like. Come on, man.
You see that I don't give a shit, right?
he flinches back and he goes, all right, I'll start checking the stuff. And he like gets like he gets like he accesses the shop's host and like starts like scrolling through stuff in AR and like checking the items on the shelves against this event. He goes like, man, I don't even know what the hope these things are. Like, what's a fucking chalice?
And you want to be a mage. Like, every time he says something stupid, I mock the shit out of him.
Okay, so you're bullying this guy.
Oh.
And he's desperate. He's tempting to check things against the inventory and failing mostly because it's all esoteric shit. He doesn't know what what a 1981 Dodge hubcap is. And it's all like covered in dust and shit anyway. Wait, he says, wait. Hold on, let me see if he says wait. Hold on. He needs one hit. Haha! He says, wait, I remember. Like, when I first, I looked at the reagents, right? Like, because there's a bunch of reagents out there, all kinds of different kinds. And, like, I noticed that, like all the chaos reagents were gone. Like, and all the Zahura, Zoro, the Zrastrian ones.
I'm going to roll magical theory.
Like the Persian ones?
Yeah, I don't have magical theory, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
You could just know through general what Zoroastrianism is.
You mean Zoroastrianism? Those people from Iran?
Yeah, like the Persian ones, man. The flying carpets.
Yeah, flying carpets, right. You are less than helpful, I will say that. What's your name again?
My name's James. People call me Magic Jimmy.
All right,
no one
Magic
calls you
Jimmy.
All
Let
right.
me ask you a question.
Magic Jimmy.
People call me Jimmy. I'm sorry.
Jimmy, answer me straightly when I ask you this. You know who Birdie is?
Sorry. Who? What is? Did you say Birdie or Bernie?
Who Birdie is? Bertie.
Oh, that Birdie? Yeah, I know Birdie. He comes by the shop.
Where's Birdie at?
Oh, he brings me instructions from like Shevin.
Cool. I need to talk to Birdie, so I need
don't
you to
know.
tell me where I can find
I
Birdie.
don't have his like comm number or anything. He comes by like physically. He talks to me. I don't even know if he knows how to use a comm.
Why
Seems
would
to
he
be
not know
clueless.
how to use a comm?
I don't know. Like maybe he grew up in the Barrens or something, man. I don't know. Like they're pretty weird out there, you know.
People in glass houses, Birdie, they, shouldn't throw stones.
Jimmy, his name's Jimmy.
Jimmy, that's right. Sorry, that's my bad.
He says, look, man, like, I don't know. He just comes in, and Chevy said I was like supposed to listen to him. So like he says like I need this, I need that, and like it's like little stuff. Like he needed a sacrificial knife, and he needed like some candlesticks, and then he needed some beeswax candles, like presumably to go with the candlesticks. And then he said that he needed like a bunch of food, which is weird. Like why doesn't he just go to the fucking shop? Anyway, I got him the food, and this was like 3 days ago when he wanted the food, and then and then he needed like water. Like he came back again and asked for like water, and I was like, what the fuck? Like who like doesn't just get those together? And then
Cool story, Bert or Jamie. I really am wrapped by this tale you have spun for me. But listen, we need a friend to do something, so we're just gonna have to ask you to hang out for a minute.
Yeah, we need the comm code for this place.
Yeah, wait. What is this about a sacrificial knife?
that
I'll
was
just
one of the things.
chime
that,
in the
okay,
in the
what I
DNI at
found
this
out.
point.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the split
Yeah.
chapter.
Are you kidding me? Damn. All right, but you think these guys are the ones helping them with magic?
Absolutely.
Okay, what's this comm code you need me to trace?
I don't know if we can. I just asked the guy for the comm code for the place.
Yeah, he gives you the com code. He
Yeah,
doesn't want to, but he does it because like you're fucking terrifying.
I'll send it over to Poncho immediately.
Okay, and what exactly is the purpose of this?
Get the call. He made a call out to the guy who is doing the magic for them.
Okay, and this is the guy who's doing the magic's comm code number.
This is the one for the shop. I don't know if he gets. I don't. If he can
The
trace
guy
it.
in the
appears
shop
to be
called a guy
in
called
league with-
Xavien, who he said was the owner of the shop, and he was just briefly working there. Xavien is someone that you think is involved in this somehow.
Yes, he seems
Because
to
a
be
guy
in
dressed
league.
like a 1920s mobster called Bertie has been delivering instructions from Xavien to the guy working at the shop.
Okay, so and this comm code that we have is Chevien's comm code?
Yes, presumably. The guy spoke to Xavien on the end of it, and he could be lying, but
Okay, then that means we should try to find out where this comm link is in the physical world.
Sounds like a good idea.
Which means that we're going to need to get marks on it and then trace the icon.
Yep.
Seem legit?
No, yeah, that's
sir.
that's definitely what you would do.
Okay. I'm just gonna go for
I'm not even sure if I should make you roll. Like,
3.
so many motherfucking dice.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, those should not have exploded. That's my bad.
That's all right. I'll remove 4 because of the exploding ones. And
No. Wait. Okay, well, I guess
what the fuck is going on?
I give up.
Stop. No.
I'm sorry. Just do
stop
whatever
rolling.
you're doing the first
one you
time.
roll had 4 too many rolls, so it's 1 less success, so it's 6 successes. It's fine.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to help and I made it worse.
Okay, I guess to roll his defense. It fails, you get marks, or a mark, or whatever.
Okay, then trace icon is computer intuition against willpower and sleaze. I have issued the use of the agents.
You can also just buy hits for them. That is perfectly fine.
Okay. Poncho's been exploring doing things on his own recently. Also.
Okay, you find the location of the comlink.
Okay. All right, I got the location. Where is it? Right behind us. Where is the comlink?
Okay, this color is probably not the best one to be using, I guess.
Yeah.
So not far.
Yeah.
It's on the Everett-Snohomish border, directly to the east of where you currently are. If you pull up the Google map, like the visual image of that area, you can determine it's on a street full of old, large estates, which were once owned by the rich, but now appear to have fallen out of fashion, with many of them being decrepit or unmaintained.
As in abandoned?
Some would definitely look like they're abandoned.
Can we tell if the comlink is coming from one of the ones that would look abandoned in the Google satellite view, or the grid guide satellite view, rather?
I'm just trying to work out how precise trace icon is.
It just says find physical location. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Since it's not
Okay. You know, it does. It comes from one of the houses that does look quite run down.
Okay. I will relay all of this to the team. So it looks like this comlink is in one of these abandoned houses. On this, insert street name here, street name. Seems like a pretty good place to keep a kidnapping victim, since the surrounding area is pretty deserted.
Well,
Right.
looks like we got a place to go.
Yep.
The rain
Seems that-
falls on sleepy Seattle as the hour tolls 9. You've been looking into this for slightly more than 3 hours at this point. Poncho rides through Bellevue. A girl in his arms, blissed out on some kind of horrific substance, and, you know, more worried about her falling off the bike than keeping an eye on the road. Dr. Feelgood drives an anxious, angry, scared man who, for the first time in his life, truly is afraid. And in the magic shop, Shadow and Sacrum keep an eye on a scared orc named Jimmy, while receiving knowledge from their compatriot about the location of a certain comlink. And behind rusted iron gates, silence and darkness reign, as the rain falls from an uncaring sky. All right. My guess is that you head to the mansion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Probably wait for Feelgood to catch up at least first.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do my best to get there as quick as I can.
Headlights cut through flickering rain as 3 vehicles make their way up the road that leads to the mansion. This area is tucked away. It takes several tries to find the turnoff that leads to it. And when you do, the road is filled with potholes, old and unkempt. It seems that while Everett and Snohomish are in general pretty good places to live, there are little corners of it that are disused and neglected, like this one. Those of you who are magical can feel a background count rising as you drive down this pitted and potholed road, leaves arcing overhead, blank walls of the estates on either side passing you. It goes to 2, then to 3, then to 4. Is someone saying something?
I don't believe so.
I'm
I
just
think
listening to the story.
Cueing the mic.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just heard some noise. I thought someone might be trying to speak, and I was just not hearing them. Yeah, you eventually arrive at about where the Matrix ping came. There is 2 sets of gates that it might be behind. The walls themselves are fairly cursory. They're like not big armored walls. They're little walls just to show the boundary of the properties. There's a set of gates that are iron. They're locked with a padlock. They're rusted, connected to brick. There's another set of gates that are timber, and they look newer, like they've been replaced recently. And a shiny bronze mailbox is set into the fieldstone wall, which they are attached to. It could be the road kind of turns at this point, so these 2 gates are quite close together. The trace could be coming from behind either, or none. There's no people on the streets, no cars on the road, though there are a few cars parked at the side of the road. There's very few, and they tend to be like older model cars or like run-down ones. Like older model but very expensive, or newer and less expensive ones. So the air of genteel decay is definitely quite prevalent. This background count is aspected towards death.
Excellent. That's my tradition.
Really?
I'm just kidding. It's definitely not.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, lucky. I'm sure there'll be some
What's the
Shadowrunners
back-
with death-like traditions.
Oh yeah, that sounds like Dr. Feelgood's tradition.
Death. If Dr. Feelgood was secretly a death worshiper or something, that makes so much sense. Yeah. So what's your plan, Shadowrunners?
Well, I'm immediately using heightened concern.
Good choice.
I am a man that is most definitely not in a van. Instead, it's a nice Bentley because Dr. Feelgood got rich. What noise am I taking from here?
There is noise rating of 2. There is not, it's still in Everett. It's just, yeah.
Yep.
A lot of trees shit blocking the wireless.
Yep. Because it's raining, it would also be another 1 or 2, depending on how heavy it is, I believe.
Sorry, what?
Depending on how heavy the rain is, that will also be another 1 or 2.
I'll say that between the rain and the trees is 2.
Okay.
If you go inside any of the buildings around here, it's probably going to be 3 because they're all buildings. They're going to be wirelessly enabled.
Yep. Well, I'm just going to be sitting in my chameleon-coated car, chilling, browsing the Matrix. Usual things.
I'm sorry, looking for Matrix things? Wait, is there noise for you then?
Yeah, there's noise. 2.
Ah, word. Hooray for everyone gets modifiers.
Not me, son.
Not me, son! If the noise
Alright,
is
it's
too
me, I
bad,
feel
you
good.
can't use the Skillsoft network though, right?
Say again?
If the noise gets too bad, you can't use the Skillsoft network anymore. Right?
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
so,
but
It would
If
have to
it's-
exceed what my comlink can handle.
yeah.
Yeah. That actually also applies to if you're to your living persona as well. But I have 4 noise reduction.
Nice. Wait, is Dr. Feelgood a Technomancer?
Yeah, Dr. Feelgood. Yes, Dr. Feelgood's a technomancer.
yeah, feel good to techno.
Goddamn, Dr. Feelgood.
He also is one of the technos that is completely open about being a techno.
Whoa, man.
I know.
Whoa, you blow my mind. Not in the literal sense. You didn't die despite me, but no, Punch doesn't. I don't want to take control of your contact, Poncho, but I'm going to say she doesn't shoo you out. So
she's a net contact. You can do whatever you want. I just didn't want to interrupt everything else.
Or whether you go and go back to support the team.
Sorry, what?
She doesn't shoo you out. She lets you stay, and the girl seems to be comforted by you being there because this place is weird, and she doesn't know if she's going to get like bunraku'd, which is obviously an issue. So
okay.
Poncho has to pick between staying at Emma Falcon, basically just like writing off the job, or like at best giving only matrix support, or going back up there. Because I mean, people in DI are talking about some bad juju or something. I don't know. You get a bad feeling about this.
Well, he's gonna finish the job. He signed up for it and he sees things through.
How does he feel as he leaves the clinic to go back to do the job?
I mean, he's gonna take the time to explain to the girl that he's got a job to do and he'll be back, and that Falk will take care of her, no matter what.
Okay, yeah, the girl doesn't like freak out and like start shooting people with her antique shotgun or something, but like she definitely doesn't like that Poncho is leaving. But Poncho leaves, and how does Poncho feel as he's kind of walking out?
I mean, he feels conflicted because part of him would have wanted to stay and make sure that rehabilitation got started well, but he's set on his course because he has to go rescue another little girl.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to know what he felt. You stride out, your poncho flapping in the breeze. You know, the firm set of mouth and unfurled brow of the honest man on your visage, and mount your motorcycle and start driving back up to Everett through the rain, alone, a man on a grim mission.
Pretty much.
Okay, so the J has gotten out of the car. The Dr. Feelgood, Dr. Feelgood and the J arrive at the location, and Jay gets out of the car and he says, "Is this it?" He's clearly, he hasn't got like his gun in his hand. He's clearly like fucking, ready to punch his way through that wall and like kill anything on the other side of it.
Dr. Feelgood will be like, we don't know yet, so maybe, not be so enthusiastic about punching through a hole, and then maybe like, like it could be somebody's house that doesn't have anything to do with us, But hey, hopefully it is, and then we can get your daughter back. No?
Yeah, friend, you got to try to keep it under control in here. Things can go pretty sideways if you start getting a little fanatical. Understand it's your daughter, but I mean, you got to let us work. You hired us. Please just try not to get in the way. If we need your help, we'll let you know.
Okay, Sacrum. There are two properties that you potentially have. There's not signal coming from them. It's a bit hard to tell from the street, and the walls of their walls abut the walls of the neighboring estates. So you could break into one of the two estates neighboring the two properties, because these two are neighbors themselves, obviously. So the ones either side of the two, you could break into those and kind of try to like see what's going on by like peeking over the wall at a couple points. Is that what you're going to do, or are you going to just?
He's going to check out the outside of the wall first, make sure there's nothing there, and then he'll.
Okay, the front of the wall of the front of the two estates is just an unbroken wall. In one case of brick, in the other of fieldstone. There is an iron gate on the brick one, and there is a timber gate on the fieldstone one. The brick one looks older. The timbered fieldstone looks newer. There's no there's no mailbox on the brick one. There is a mailbox on the timber one, on the fieldstone one, and there is nothing of interest outside the walls. You have to get over. The walls are about 2.5 meters high.
Okay, so then he'll just hop up and run the wall.
So he's getting up on top of the wall. He's not just peering over.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna run directly across the wall.
Heck yeah.
Okay. So you're running down the length of the front wall of the estates, both estates.
Yeah, I have RPC and Traceless Walk, so this is probably gonna work out better for me than it sounds.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Hold on. Let me just grab some pictures for you. Okay, behind the brick and steel wall is that house, kind of. It's not quite the same. The trees actually have foliage. The garden's a bit bigger and has like a path winding through it to the front gate, which it looks like the front gate isn't for cars. It's like purely for the path, like the walking path. Any car entrance must be either park on the street or park like around the back or something. It's confusing. Anyway, maybe underground. Anyway, so there's the trees. There's like lots of trees, and they have like obscuring leaves on them, not dead. Undergrowth. It's all wild though. Like it hasn't seen the touch of a gardener for months, but it's not wild enough for it to have been left for years. So whatever neglect has occurred has happened in the last few months. There is a light on in one window of the very top floor of the house, pretty much exactly similar to that photo. The timber and fieldstone one, I do not have a picture for, but it is a 3-story concrete and glass block with lights on in several of the windows. Looks a lot more modern.
Okay.
And you can't really tell again from the trace whether it was in. Maybe if Poncho was like physically here, he could tell, but just from the Matrix description, you can't tell if it's like the old mansion or the new concrete and glass block.
Are there any tracks or anything indicating that someone drove here recently?
There are no driving tracks, and on the concrete and glass block, sorry, does have a driveway leading to the front gate. It leads to a garage door that's on basically the bottom of the house. There are no signs that someone drove like through the garden of the mansion though, and there wouldn't be any sign of anyone driving the other place because it has a driveway.
Right.
But you can't see any way that someone could have driven a car into the mansion. You can't see any sign that the mansion might like predate cars or something. Fucking insane. Or be constructed in that style to mimic it.
I want to go check the garage, but I don't want to do it without Matrix support, so I'm going to hold off on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel good.
So Dr.
Yeah,
Fieldwood,
giving a cursory check is, am I saying anything that's not running silent?
well, a lot of things are running silent just because they want to like that they're not to like try to hide themselves necessarily, but because they are little icons that don't want to cluster up the matrix with their presence, which is a common thing you'll see in rich areas. But there are icons, but they're pretty easy to spot regardless. There are icons on the gate of both gates for the machinery that controls automatic gate opening and closing, as well as like on the concrete blockhouse. There's a keypad entry. The concrete blockhouse has like a fuck ton of icons. There's all kinds of icons for various appliances and stuff. You notice several gun icons in there. Like the kind of stuff that a rich person would own, though, not like a mercenary. So not like AK-97s, but like Fischetti executive action and a needler and a taser and other things. There's cameras around the concrete block, and there's tremor sensors and things in the walls. The mansion has a matrix capable generator in the ground floor, and has several comlinks and a couple of actually like 3 comlinks and a like a television basically and a few other appliances. But it seems like whoever lives there does not own many matrix capable devices compared to the concrete and glass block, which has like a fuck ton.
Okay, I relay all this information to the team members, and then I'll just do a matrix perception check just to see if there's anything that, just
There is a notably there is no security system in the old mansion, or non-active, or if there is, it's wired and does not actually go wireless at any point, which would be basically unheard of. Okay, so that was to locate like properly hidden icons, actually hidden icons. Oh, we've lost someone.
Yeah, it was me. I'm reconnecting, don't worry about it.
Alright. Yeah, you do not see any... Oh, actually... Yeah, I was giving it to you anyway, but one of the 3 comlinks in the mansion was running silent. But yeah, with that, I was just saying you saw it because it's not a very good comlink. It doesn't have a slaves dongle, so it can't run silent very well. But you see it.
Okay. Oh, I've got like a 3D map, and I'm superimposing it and being like, okay, here's things here, 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 and here, guys.
Yeah, you can pretty much almost get a complete picture of how life goes on inside the concrete and steel block. But you can't really get a good picture of how life goes on in the mansion because there's just too few things. Like there's a TV here, there's a hot water heater here, there's a generator here. But I mean, like other than that, like you can't really determine too much about the inside because there's just not enough icons to populate it properly.
Okay.
If I were to go up to the house and place a data tap, would that help? If I could find a place to put it
on like a cable. Yeah,
if
we'd have to go inside.
If there's a wired system, that would give your hacker access to it.
Now, would there be something? I would have to go out and look. So
you have to physically find an honest to goodness wire.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna circle the house and see if there's something that I can find.
You could use a camera. You can use.
And you're doing this to the mansion.
Yeah, around the mansion. I'm not going inside the mansion.
Okay, are you astrally active?
Yeah. No. My key focus went off because it's a background count 4. So no, I'm not astrally active.
Right. So you're an adept, but they don't show up on. They do not show up on.
If his foci were active, he would show up. But
right, but he's not dual natured. Is kind of what I'm getting at. He's not. He's using his adept abilities. I'm sure isn't sure of that.
Yeah, no.
I imagine if they sense, they could find him, but if they're just astrally perceiving, he is not on the astral.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to where are you going in the house? Are you going all the way around the house on the outside, looking for
something that I could possibly open up and put a data tap in.
You find some wires at the back that run into a little box that's attached to the house. But if you check a cable tap on them, your decker will be able to tell you that these are dead. These are dead wires. There's nothing going on with them.
Okay. There's nothing else of note then?
Not on the outside wall of the house, no.
Okay.
Again, there was an active generator inside the house. So, if these are the power cables, which I'm almost assured they are, as well as any data cables coming in, they could be non-functional and there could still be a light on.
Okay.
And active machinery, like the television and things.
Well, I mean, if we have to go into this place, we can definitely use the power generator to cut the power that they have. So, but I probably want to wait until we have Poncho here first before we do anything like that.
Okay, so are you talking to people when you say that, or is that more like you thinking to yourself?
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. I'm thinking to myself and talking out loud.
Okay, so you
Or
come back to
DNI.
the group and say that, or are you denying them?
DNI.
Yep. Okay, and the Jay's kind of like pacing back and forth and getting increasingly more agitated as you guys delay, because remember, Poncho's a good couple of hours out. Or an hour at least. We'll call it an hour, he's fast as black.
Okay. Hour sounds legit. I did send a DNI earlier in the chat. I don't know if you guys saw it. If you need to start the party without him, start the party without him.
The guy's like, Koma's like, so you think she's in there? Why? Because this man is in there, this talismonger?
Well, yeah, we got reason to believe that they're here. The call was made to this location.
He says, well, then let's go in. Ask them what they know.
Well, I get the feeling that they're not going to be willing to divulge what they know, but I could be mistaken. That said, caution is probably advisable at this point, sir. We just need you to be patient.
If you are scared, I will go first.
It's not about fear, sir. It's about being as effective as possible.
He says, well, there's three of us. You're all here, except for that man who ran off.
Well, wouldn't you rather all of us be here?
Because Poncho's, he seems like a pretty scary guy. But he says, look, there's three of you here, four with me. That's enough to deal with whatever's in there. These 1920s gangsters, I'll kill them by the dozen to get my.
Is he saying any of this in DNI?
He's saying this out loud to
Okay.
these two guys. He doesn't like DNI. Sorry.
Does anybody have like anything so Dr. Feelgood could hear what he's saying?
Aren't you physically there with him?
No, I'm in my car, chilling. That's why I'm asking, does anybody have any equipment that lets me hear?
Oh, okay, well he's gonna say it over here DNI then. Fucking people, these fucking Shadowrunners just like wandering around talking to each other with their mind brains.
Dr. Feelgood's like, I'm not so much use in like, like a normal fight like you guys. Like you guys seem way more used to that sort of thing.
How many mages have you fought recently?
Do you say that to the DNI?
In DNI, yeah, to the J.
Como like sneers, although you can't see it, and he says, they die like anyone else, with a knife across the throat.
I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're not gonna get to him before he knows you're there. So how many have you killed that are aware of you?
He says, enough. And you're aware that as a Yakuza, he can't brag about his accomplishments like that. He can't say, 50.
Yeah.
He's just
I'm aware he's probably a consummate professional. I'm well aware about that, but I'm still kind of saying, trying to get a point across that perhaps you might be a little out of your league here.
They're prepared. This is going to be ugly, sir. So, I mean, and while obviously you do not have fear for yourself, if your daughter happens to be here, it is going to be ugly for her as well.
You
got to be cautious about this.
He turns. He's like kind of pacing back and forth in front of the picture of the gate that I've got there. He's pacing back and forth in front of the metal and brass and brick gate, and he turns like at the end of one of the pacing. He turns back to pace across the gate, in front of the gate again. And then he stops and turns and like just punches the brick pillar, and then he punches like three more times. Like in the course of a single combat turn, and like each of the punches gouges like a section of basically the size of a fist out of the corner of the pillar. He says, "If my daughter is in there, I do not care if you will not go in. I will go in alone."
Sir, I really have doubts about bringing you along on this endeavor, and I've been patient about it, but I cannot say the same for you. I really need you to calm down. A cold mind is the way to go about handling this situation. When you get all heated like that, you're going to make mistakes.
Sir, I said, sir.
Nah, it's not like that.
And